When the stars went dark, the morning coffee and Captain Elena Vasquez's cup was still steaming when the emergency alert blared through the asteroid mining station. She had been watching the sunrise over Ceres through the observation deck, thinking about her daughter back on Earth. The peaceful moment shattered as red lights bathed the entire station in an ominous glow. Elena rushed to the command center, where her crew was already gathered around the main communication array. The face of Admiral Marcus Chon appeared on the screen, his weathered features showing strain she had never seen before. Behind him, the Earth Defense Command Center buzzed with frantic activity. All stations, this is Admiral Chun. We have a code black situation. Unknown alien vessels have entered our solar system. They number in the thousands and are requesting immediate communication with Earth's leadership. Elena felt her heart sink. She had spent 15 years mining the asteroid belt, far from Earth's politics and problems. But she knew this moment would change everything. The crew around her fell silent, their faces pale with fear and uncertainty. The transmission continued as Admiral Chun's voice grew heavier. The alien fleet has identified themselves as the Nexari Empire. They are demanding Earth's complete surrender within 48 hours. All military personnel are to report to emergency stations immediately. Captain Elena Vasquez had fought in the Outer Colony Wars 5 years ago, but nothing had prepared her for this. The mining station had minimal weapons, just enough to clear dangerous asteroids. Against an alien empire, they were helpless. Dr. Sarah Kim, the station's chief scientist, stepped forward. She was young, barely 30, but her brilliant mind had revolutionized their mining operations. Captain, we need to establish communication with the other mining stations. If Earth falls, we might be the only humans left free. Elena nodded, her military training taking over. Send encrypted messages to all colonial outposts. Tell them to prepare for the worst, but hope for the best. We need to know what we're dealing with. Meanwhile, on Earth, the Nexari Empire's massive ships hung in the sky like dark monuments to human insignificance. The ships were beautiful in a terrible way, their surfaces gleaming with unknown metals and pulsing with energy that made the air itself feel heavy. President Maria Santos stood in the emergency bunker beneath the Rocky Mountains, surrounded by military leaders and scientists. The weight of humanity's survival rested on her shoulders. General Patricia Stone, a veteran of 3 wars, studied the tactical displays showing the alien fleet's positions. Ma'am, our entire military has maybe 300 ships capable of space combat. The aliens have over 2,000. Our weapons technology is at least 50 years behind theirs. If we fight conventionally, we lose everything. Commander Zara al-Hassan, head of special operations, spoke from the shadows. She was known for impossible missions and had never failed an assignment. What about the Ghost Protocol? The project we've been funding in secret for the past decade? The room fell silent. Ghost Protocol was classified beyond top secret. Only 12 people in the world knew it existed. Dr. Sarah Kim's sister, Dr. Jennifer Kim, had been working on quantum cloaking, technology that could make ships invisible to both human and alien sensors. Admiral Chun leaned forward. The Ghost Protocol fleet consists of 50 ships built with our most advanced technology. They're smaller than our regular fleet, but they're designed for stealth and precision strikes. The problem is, we've never tested them in real combat. President Santos closed her eyes, feeling the weight of 8 billion lives pressing down on her. How long until the Ghost Fleet can be deployed? 6 hours, ma'am, but we need to buy time. The Nexari deadline is in 48 hours. Across the solar system, the message was received. Overlord Dex, commander of the Nexari invasion force, stood on the bridge of his flagship. He was tall and imposing, with skin that looked like polished stone and eyes that glowed with inner fire. He had conquered 47 worlds for the Nexari Empire, and Earth would be number 48. These humans are primitive, he told his officers. Their technology is crude. Their ships are weak. They will surrender like all the others once they realize resistance is futile. But Thex was wrong about humans. He had never encountered a species that valued freedom more than life itself. He had never fought beings who would sacrifice everything for the chance to remain free. On the mining station, Captain Elena Vasquez received a coded message from Earth Defense Command. It was brief but clear. Ghost protocol activated. Prepare for silent running. Humanity's last hope depends on invisible ships and impossible courage. Elena gathered her crew in the common area. They were miners, engineers, and scientists, not soldiers. But they were human, and that meant something special in the galaxy. Listen carefully, she began. Earth is about to fight for its survival. We're not soldiers, but we're still human. That makes us dangerous in ways the aliens don't understand. The crew looked at her with a mixture of fear and determination. These were people who had chosen to live in the harsh environment of space, who had learned to survive where others would die. They were tougher than they looked. "What do you need us to do, Captain?" asked Rico Martinez, the station's chief engineer. He was a small man with clever hands and a brilliant mind for improvisation. "We're going to do what humans do best," Elena replied. "We're going to be unpredictable. We're going to use our knowledge of the asteroid belt to hide supplies and create safe havens. And when the time comes, we're going to show these aliens what happens when you threaten humanity's children." Meanwhile, Earth's cities were in chaos. People fled the major population centers, but many stayed to fight. In New York, London, Tokyo, and Moscow, citizens organized resistance groups. They had hunting rifles, homemade explosives, and an unbreakable will to defend their home. The Nexari Empire had never faced anything like this. On other worlds, only the military fought while civilians hid. But humans were different. When their home was threatened, everyone became a soldier. Dr. Jennifer Kim worked frantically in the secret laboratory beneath the Nevada desert. Her quantum cloaking technology was humanity's greatest secret. The Ghost Fleet ships would be invisible to Nexari sensors, able to strike without warning and disappear before the enemy could respond. "How are the cloaking systems holding up?" she asked her assistant, Dr. Michael Torres. "All 50 ships are ready, Doctor. The quantum field generators are stable, the stealth coating is applied, and the AI targeting systems are online. These ships are miracles of human engineering." The Ghost Fleet pilots were volunteers, men and women who knew they might not return. They came from all walks of life: former asteroid miners, military veterans, civilian pilots who had learned to fly in the dangerous shipping lanes between planets. Lieutenant Commander Alex Thompson had been Elena's wingman during the colony wars. He was now preparing to pilot one of the Ghost Fleet ships, knowing that humanity's survival might depend on his success. "Remember," he told his fellow pilots, "we're not just fighting for Earth. We're fighting for the idea that free beings have the right to choose their own destiny. The Nexari Empire thinks they can simply add us to their collection. They're about to learn that humans don't collect well." As the 48-hour deadline approached, the Nexari fleet moved into attack positions. Overlord Thex was confident that the humans would surrender rather than see their cities destroyed. He had sent the same ultimatum to 47 other worlds, and all of them had eventually given up. But humans were different. President Santos went on global television to address the world. Her speech was simple but powerful. "My fellow humans, we have been asked to choose between slavery and death. I say we choose a third option: freedom. We choose to fight for our children, our future, and our right to remain human. The galaxy is about to learn what that means." The speech was broadcast. on every channel and translated into every language. It was also intercepted by the Nixari fleet, who dismissed it as the desperate words of a defeated species. They were wrong got in the asteroid belt. Captain Elena Vasquez looked at the stars and thought about her daughter. She would fight to ensure that child grew up free, even if it cost her everything. Around her, the mining station hummed with activity as they prepared for war. The Ghost Fleet was launching in 1 hour. 50 invisible ships would strike at the heart of the Nexari Empire's arrogance. But the real battle would be fought by ordinary humans who refused to kneel. The 48 hours were almost up, and humanity was ready to give its answer. That answer would be written in fire and determination across the darkness of space, and the galaxy would never be the same. Asterisk. Shadows Strike Back. The Ghost Fleet launched in absolute silence. 50 ships, each one invisible to Nexari sensors, slipped away from their hidden base on the dark side of the moon. Lieutenant Commander Alex Thompson led the first squadron, his heart pounding as he watched the alien fleet through his ship's advanced sensors. The Nexari ships were massive, each one capable of destroying a city with a single shot. But they were also overconfident, spread out in a loose formation that left them vulnerable to coordinated strikes. The aliens had never faced an enemy that could become invisible. Ghost leader to all units, Alex whispered into his communicator. Remember the plan. We hit them fast and hard, then disappear before they can respond. Target their command ships first, then their weapons platforms. Make every shot count. The Ghost Fleet had been designed specifically for this moment. Each ship carried quantum torpedoes that could punch through alien shields, and their AI targeting systems could calculate attack patterns faster than any human pilot. But the most important weapon they carried was something no alien could understand: the human refusal to surrender. On Earth, Admiral Marcus Chun watched the tactical display as the Ghost Fleet approached the Nexari formation. The next few minutes would determine whether humanity lived free or died fighting. He had served in the military for 30 years, but he had never felt pressure like this. "Sir," reported his communications officer, "we're getting signals from the mining colonies. They're ready to support the Ghost Fleet attack." Sean nodded grimly. The mining colonies were scattered throughout the asteroid belt, each one a potential weapons platform if used correctly. Captain Elena Vasquez had coordinated with the other station commanders to create a network of hidden bases and supply points in the asteroid belt. Elena watched her tactical display as the Ghost Fleet moved into position. Her mining station might not have military weapons, but it had something just as valuable: industrial equipment that could be turned into weapons of war. "Rico, are the mass drivers ready?" she asked. Her chief engineer, Rico Martinez, grinned despite the tension. "Ready and loaded, Captain. We can launch asteroids at the alien fleet with pinpoint accuracy. They won't see it coming until it's too late." The mass drivers were normally used to send ore to Earth, but they could also launch rocks the size of buildings at incredible speeds. An asteroid traveling at 50,000 kilometers per hour would hit with the force of a nuclear weapon. First strike came without warning. Alex Thompson's squadron emerged from cloak directly behind the Nexari flagship, their quantum torpedoes already armed and targeted. The alien ship's shields flared as the torpedoes struck, but they held. "Shields are at 60%, reported his weapons officer. "Target their shield generators." The Ghost Fleet ships danced around the massive alien vessel like insects around a giant, too small and fast to be easily targeted. Their second volley found the shield generators, and the flagship's defenses collapsed. Overlord Vex felt his ship shake as the human weapons found their mark. For the first time in his career, he was facing an enemy he couldn't see. "Where are they?" he roared at his officers. "How can ships simply disappear?" "Sir, our sensors show nothing but our Shields are taking damage from multiple directions. The humans have technology we don't understand. Vex's confidence began to crack. He had conquered 47 worlds, but none of them had possessed invisible ships. The humans were proving more dangerous than he had imagined. The ghost fleets. Attack was coordinated with precision timing. As Alex's squadron struck the flagship, other ghost ships hit the alien weapons platforms and communication arrays. The Nexari fleet, which had seemed invincible minutes before, was suddenly blind and confused, but the real surprise came from the asteroid belt. Elena Vasquez gave the order that would change everything. All stations, this is Ceres Base. Fire. At will, across the asteroid belt, mining stations launched their deadly cargo. Asteroids the size of office buildings screamed through space toward the alien fleet. The Nexari ships, designed to fight other starships, were completely unprepared for this kind of attack. The first asteroid struck a Nexari cruiser amidships, punching completely through the hull and emerging on the other side. The ship broke apart in a shower of debris and escaping atmosphere. The second asteroid hit a weapons platform, vaporizing it in a flash of superheated metal. Impossible, breathed Overlord Vex as he watched his fleet being torn apart by invisible ships and flying rocks. How can primitives fight like this? Answer was simple. Humans weren't primitives. They were innovators, survivors, and fighters who refused to accept defeat. Every mining station, every hidden base, every desperate human with a weapon was part of a coordinated defense that the Nexari Empire had never encountered. Dr. Jennifer Kim watched the battle from her hidden laboratory, her quantum cloaking technology, proving itself in the most important test possible. The Ghost Fleet ships were performing perfectly, striking and vanishing like phantoms in the night. Doctor, called her assistant, were getting reports from all over the solar system. The mining colonies, the orbital platforms, even the research stations are joining the fight. It's like the entire human race has become a military force. Jennifer smiled grimly. That was exactly what had happened. Humans had a unique ability to turn anything into a weapon when their survival was at stake. Mining equipment became artillery, cargo ships became missile platforms, and research stations became strategic command centers. Commander Zara al-Hassan led a different kind of attack. Her special operations teams had infiltrated the alien ships that had landed on Earth's surface. Using stealth technology derived from the Ghost Fleet project, they moved through the alien vessels like deadly shadows. Team Alpha, take the power core. Team Beta, secure the communications array. Team Gamma, plant charges on the weapon systems. She whispered into her communicator. The Nexari soldiers were formidable warriors, but they had never faced enemies who could become invisible. The human infiltrators struck without warning, sabotaging critical systems and disappearing before the aliens could respond. On the bridge of his flagship, Overlord Vex watched his mighty fleet being destroyed by an enemy he couldn't see or understand. Half his ships were already lost, and more were being picked off by invisible attackers and flying asteroids. "Sir," reported his communications officer, "we're receiving a transmission from the human leadership." President Maria Santos appeared. On the screen, her face calm but determined. "Overlord Vex, this is President Santos of Earth. I have a message for your empire. Humans don't surrender. We don't kneel. We fight for our freedom, and we fight to win." Vex stared at the human leader, trying to understand how a primitive species could have hurt his fleet so badly. "You cannot win," he said. "We have conquered 47 worlds. Your resistance is futile." "Maybe," Santos replied. "But we're not like the other worlds you've conquered. We're human. And humans have a saying, it's better to die on your feet than live on your knees. Your empire is about to learn what that means." The transmission ended, and Vex realized he was facing something completely new. The humans weren't just fighting for their lives. They were fighting for their identity as free beings. They would rather die than surrender their freedom. Captain Elena Vasquez watched the battle unfold from her mining station, her heart swelling with pride as she saw ordinary humans accomplishing the impossible. Miners, engineers, scientists, and soldiers working together to defend their home. Captain, called Rico Martinez, we're getting a general communication from Earth. They want all stations to prepare for the final phase. Elena nodded. The final phase was humanity's last gambit. Every human ship, every mining station, every orbital platform would coordinate a massive assault on the remaining Nexari fleet. It was all or nothing. The Ghost fleet regrouped for the final attack. Alex Thompson's ship had taken damage, but it was still capable of fighting. Around him, the other Ghost ships prepared for one last strike against the alien command structure. Asterisk. This is it, he told his crew. We've shown them that humans can fight. Now we show them that humans can win. The final assault began with the Ghost fleet striking the Nexari command ships while the mining stations launched the remaining asteroids. Earth's conventional fleet, though outgunned, attacked with desperate courage. And throughout the solar system, every human with a weapon joined the fight. Overlord Vex watched his invasion fleet disintegrate under the coordinated human assault. In 30 minutes, the mighty Nexari Empire had been humbled by a species they had considered primitive. As his flagship took critical damage, he made a decision that would change everything. All units, this is Overlord Vex. Withdraw to jump distance. We retreat. The words were bitter in his mouth, but he had no choice. The humans had proven they would fight to the last breath, and his fleet was already too damaged to continue. The invasion. As the surviving Nexari ships fled the solar system, President Santos addressed the world once more. My fellow humans, today we proved that freedom is not given. It is taken. We showed the galaxy that humans will not be conquered, enslaved, or broken. We are free, and we will remain free. Captain Elena Vasquez looked at the stars, knowing that her daughter would grow up in a universe where humans were respected, not conquered. The mining stations had played their part in humanity's greatest victory. The Ghost fleet returned to their hidden base, their mission accomplished. They had proven that human ingenuity and determination could overcome any enemy. The galaxy had learned a new truth. Humans were not to be underestimated. And in the depths of space, word began to spread among the alien empires. A new species had emerged, one that fought with invisible ships and flying rocks, one that turned miners into warriors and scientists into soldiers. The humans had announced their presence to the galaxy, and the galaxy would never be the same. The silent rebellion had succeeded. Humanity was free, and the stars themselves seemed to shine brighter in celebration of human courage and determination. Asterisk.